2021. What a rubbishy old year. January. Back to school for one day and lockdown happened. All teaching was online apart from key workers' children. We couldn't see anybody, so it was all Google Meet, and husband's work dried up, so he had to find other ways of trying to make some money, so he did his Black Arrow photo prints. February was much the same. Couldn't go anywhere, online teaching. We spent most of our time watching TV programmes, listening to music, and finding things that we could do to occupy ourselves. March. Both my husband and I finally had our first vaccine. April, we were finally able to visit family, although we had to sit in the garden. My parents celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary, their diamond wedding anniversary, and they got a card from the Queen. It was very sad that the Duke of Edinburgh died during this month. My husband started producing digital prints of animal photos and family photos. May, we were able to have our second vaccine and we both felt a lot safer. The 25th of May was a very sad day. I got up one morning and came downstairs to find that our beloved cat Pepsi, famous for spilling the paint all over the stair carpet, and she was much loved, but I found her dead, fast asleep on the sofa. That was a very hard day because it was the cat that my children had grown up with, and as well as finding it hard to lose her, she was 16, 17, it was hard seeing how upset they were because she was a very loving and kind friend to all of us and a real lap cat. Pepsi. We buried her in the garden and have made a little sort of not a shrine, but we've put a plant pot and my son's girlfriend bought a little remembrance plaque for her, and we've got some lights there so it all looks very pretty, so we know that she's there and well loved, and we can always remember her. In June I was visiting my parents because it's my birthday month, and it was just shortly after I'd had the vaccine and my ankles started to swell up, and I think they thought it was a reaction, so I ended up having to go to the hospital, but it was just the same old lipedema, and which I seem to be struggling with, but it just got particularly bad that day. And we celebrated my mum's birthday, and my two boys went to the World Cup. One of my sons is a big fan. He was at all of the games, and he managed to get a ticket for my youngest son for the England-Germany match, which they said was amazing. Greatest atmosphere, and it's a memory that will be etched in both of their minds for a very long, long time. July, and COVID hit my school. We'd managed to avoid it, but my class got COVID and I had to self-isolate and teach from school. And just as I was coming to the end of my isolation period, my son also got COVID. And so my isolation period continued. And it was about 16, 17 days of isolation, which was very hard going. I had very good friends who were kind enough to bring me Pims and little gifts just to keep me from not losing my sanity. August, our wedding anniversary, so we celebrated that, and I had various social events with a ladies group that we belong to. Having had so much time when I wasn't able to see anybody, I made sure that when I went home to see my parents that I actually got in contact with my school friends from a long, long ago, and we had a school reunion. Some of them I hadn't seen in, I cannot tell you how many years, but it was lovely. I went to stay for a few days with some friends in Cheltenham, which was great fun. Unfortunately, my husband couldn't come, but it was just nice to have a little break away. My friend and I had a trip to RHS Wisley, which was beautiful. The colours were so nice. And we keep meaning to go back during the seasons just to see how it changes. We also met up with different family members, which was just lovely. September, some more social events with the ladies group I belong to, and our gig on the Green that had been cancelled from June happened in September. A whole weekend of music outside, which was just lovely, and the weather was kind. Youngest son got a showreel done, and he also got a job on Vikings cruise, which meant that we had to go down to New Haven as he had to do a seafaring course down there. So we spent some time just sitting on the beach.
Headed for city lights, Climbed the ladder up to fortune and fame, worked my fingers to the bone, made myself a name.
October. We finally managed to do, or take to the stage after 2 years, the show that we had been in rehearsal for since lockdown had started. Has been postponed because we weren't sure what the situation was going to be, but instead we did a cabaret and had some socially distanced performances so that everyone could come. But it was just nice to have a little bit of normality, although by the Friday, I think it was, of the performance, 3 of us who were doing a number together couldn't do it because I had no voice and neither did one of the other ladies. So, and we still managed to have one person who got COVID, so we had to have a stand-in.
Find your grail, find your grail. Life is really up to you. You must choose what to pursue. Set your mind on what to buy. And there's nothing you can do.
Our first musical for a very long time was to see Dirty Dancing because we knew somebody who was in it. So we went to Richmond Theatre to see Dirty Dancing, had to show our passes to say that we had had our vaccines and that we were perfectly safe. So there were long queues, but yeah, it was just nice to see live theatre once again. So my youngest son did a little bit of a photo shoot just before he set off for his cruise. 6 months away. Again, it's always a bit sad because he goes for such a long time, but it's his job and that's what comes with it. November was our second live theatre performance. We went to see Top Hat because again we knew somebody in it, and it was brilliant. It was a little theatre just right on by the River Thames. My friend and I had our Christmas day out locally. We usually do it in London, but because the situation was looking a bit precarious again, we decided not to risk it. I also got my booster, so that was good. December has been full of Christmas lunches with our ladies group, where my son entertained, and yeah, our school Christmas do got cancelled because suddenly, of course, COVID started to hit again in our school, and unfortunately it's still hitting now because son is on his ship and there seems to be various people and passengers and cast that have got COVID there too. So we managed Christmas at my parents, and we went and visited my husband's family, so we've managed to see all family, which was good, but we'll wait and see what happens in 2022.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, toys in every store, but the prettiest sight you'll see is the holly that will be on your own.